Hi all, welcome back. So today in this video, let us try to see the basics of reading profit and loss statement. Okay, so what is this profit and loss statement basically? Okay, so what is this statement and why we need to know the basics of reading this profit and loss statement? Okay, so any company, okay, any publicly traded company, okay, which is in the pub, publicly traded company should give the financial status of or status statements for every quarterly, for every 3 months, okay, quarterly and also annually. Okay, so uh, so any company which is being traded in the stock exchanges should provide this financial statements for every 3 months and for every year, because for the investors who are investing in the company or the promoters or the traders who are doing the uh, who are involving in the stock market, who are trying to buy or sell the shares of any company. So basically, they should know the performance or the stability or what company is doing in the last 3 months or last year. So what is the status of the company? So to understand the performance and everything about the company, so they will release these financial statements every quarterly and annually, and also along with the financial statements they will provide other notes and growth plans also in the details. Okay, so let us go to, we can go to these notes and other details from the every release in the next videos, but for in this video let us focus only on the profit and loss statement. Okay, so you got my point, right? So every publicly traded which is trading in the stock exchange should provide their uh, financial statement and financial status for every 3 months and annually. So in financial statements, okay, in financial statements, it consists of three statements basically. One is balance sheet, okay. Second one is profit and loss statement, okay. And third one is cash flow statement, okay. I have done one video on the balance sheet. I will provide you this a link for the video in the description. You can refer to it. In this video, let us focus on the profit and loss statement, and I will provide you one more video on the cash flow statement, reading in basics of the analyzing the cash flow statements. I will provide you in the other video. So you can, for this balance sheet information, I will provide you. Okay, you can refer to it. And here, let's focus on profit and loss statement. Okay, so profit and loss statement, some people will also call as income statement. Okay, so what this statement, what information we get from this statement is, we get, will come to know from this statement, will come to know how much revenue the company is generating and what are its expenses. Okay, so what are its expenses to run the business, and finally net profit. Okay, so this are the information that we get from the income statement. So that means, what is the net profit? It is complete total revenue minus expenses, whatever the balance or whatever the amount that is left after removing or after paying the expenses, whatever the amount which is left with the company is a net profit. So with this statement, we'll know the ability of the company to generate the good profits. Okay, so if any company wants to keep growing their profits, they have to do two things. One is either to increase the revenue, or other option is either to decrease the expenses, or both. So they can increase the revenue and they can bring the expenses down, and eventually they will make they will increase the net profit. So that is what any company which is growing their profits or annually basis or quarterly basis, that is referred as a good company and good performing. When its ability of generating the money is also very good. So this statement is very useful for the investors who want to know the ability of the company and see how much it is generating amount or say, I mean, how much money it is generating from its sales or the performance, and what are its total expenses, and finally, what is the amount left for the shareholders. Okay, so this is what the information we get from the income statement. So generally, the format of income statement, okay, will be like this. So first they will give you they will mention the about revenue information, okay, how much revenue the company is generating, and next to that how much expenses it has for the duration. So for example, if the report if the income statement is for quarterly, assume if it is a quarterly, then the details of this revenue, expenses and profit will be for 3 months duration. And if it is annual report, then this same revenue, expenses and net profit will be about the complete year performance. And then the net profit. Okay, so this is the format. So first they will mention the revenue, and next the expenses, and finally net profit of the company. So some people will refer revenue as the top line. Okay, why a top line means, since the format of the statement is mentioning, mean revenue is at the top of the statement, so they will refer as a top line, and they will refer net profit as a bottom line. Okay, so generally in news, in market news, we will be seeing that some so and so company or ABC company has a good top line, but not the bottom line, or bottom line is not good, up to the mark or up to the estimation. So what they are referring is, top line is good means the revenue of the company is good, whereas if the bottom line is not up to the mark or up to the estimation, means the net profit is not up to the estimation. Okay, so this is the format of the income statement. So now, if you I will give you the example, a real-time example, so that you will understand it very clearly. So for that, I will go to any company site. So as I mentioned, actually, if you go to this video, balance sheet video, I mentioned it clearly that if you want to refer any, or if you want to go through any financial statements of a company, so prefer that company site only, because every publicly traded company will have their own website. For example, if I go to Dabur, if I want to see the Dabur details, so Dabur is a publicly traded company and it has its own website. Okay, so this is the own Dabur website. So I can get all the information, financial statements, annual statements, and all the other information from the management in this website. So don't prefer any other platforms. You can get the same annual reports or financial statements, balance sheets, everything from the other online platforms also. But there are some chances that there may be data mismapping, or data is incorrect, meaning some missing in the data. There are chances from the other platforms. So to remove all those disturbances, you can mainly, if you want to see the Reliance details, you can go to Reliance website only and get the information from that site only. So now now we are on the Dabur site. Okay, so every company in their website, they will have the tabs in this way, and out of these tabs, this will be their investor tab. So in the investor tab, every company gives this investor tab. Okay, so go to investor tab, and if you see share information, investor information, so you can go through all this information, whatever whatever the information they are providing in this tab is for all the investors, traders, promoters, everybody. So that they can understand the performance of what company is doing from last 3 months or 1 year, everything. So like that we can assess the performance of the company. So here in the financial information, let me go to digital annual report. Okay, so if I go to digital annual report, so this is the annual report of the Dabur Limited for the year 2021 to 2022. So that means whatever the information they are providing in this report is for the complete year. So complete year, what they did and what is the performance, what is the revenue, and what is the profits they are generated for this complete financial year. So all the information is for the complete year here. So here, since we are focusing on the financial statements, let me go to financial statements here in the tab. You can see there are two types of financial statements. One is standalone financial statement, and another one is consolidated financial statement. So basically, standalone financial statement means the financial statement, it is for only Dabur Limited. That means Dabur has its own business, its own products, it is doing its own business, right? So only Dabur performance or only Dabur statement, you can get it from the standalone. Then what is consolidated means? Consolidated is the, so for example, assume that Dabur has some of its subsidiary, like if it is having some shares in other companies also, other FMCG companies. So assume if Dabur has some ABC FMCG company shares, so that means consolidated will include that ABC performance also. So if that company is giving some profits to Dabur, then that will be in, I mean, they will mention in the consolidated statement. If the ABC is not doing well, and that also impacts the Dabur performance, right? Because they have invested there. So that information means the consolidated means everything, complete Dabur and its subsidiaries also. So for now, let us focus on standalone financial statement. Okay, so let me go to standalone financial. Sorry, I clicked on wrong tab. So let me go to standalone financial statements. Okay, so this is the statement here. As I mentioned just few minutes back, every financial statement will be giving you this the balance sheet information, profit and loss statement, and cash flow statement. Along with that, other details also. Okay, so that's the reason we are seeing other details. Management will provide you some other details. Okay, on the company's performance. So I will go through. I mean, I will go down to the statements where we can see the in profit and loss statement. So here, standalone balance sheet. So we have done this video. You can refer to the link in the description where I have explained you about the balance sheet reading. So let us go to the next statement here, the standalone statement of profit and loss. Okay, so this is the statement that we are focusing now. Here, as I mentioned now, just now, the format of the statement. So what I mentioned, first they will provide you the revenues, and then the expenses, and then the total profit that out of revenue. Okay, whatever the profit which is left after paying the expenses. So as I mentioned, you can see, so they mentioned income. So revenue is also known as income. Okay, so income details they are provided at the top, and then as you see, income is detailed, and then the expenses. So the expenses details are provided next, and finally profit before tax. Okay, and after tax net profit for the year. If you see, I will try to do this. I will zoom in so that you can clearly see the details. Okay, I hope it will be visible for you now. So now, first they provided the income details or revenue details, and then the expenses. Okay, and then finally net profit for the year. Okay, so income, if you see here, they are providing the last year also. Like for example, since we are focusing on 2022 annual report, they gave the 2022 performance details and also the last year performance details. So why they give 2 years means we can compare them and we can see what is the growth or what is the change in the value. So now under income, there are one we can see that revenue from operations. So what does this mean is, so the company's performance from basic core business. For example, Dabur has its own products, right? So based on after selling their own products, the revenue generated from their operation is 8,179. It is in crores, okay? All the amount in crores. So to simplify the value, they provided in crores. So here the value is 8,179 crores for the year 2022. And if you see the 2021 value, it is 7,184. So at higher level, you can say that the revenue of the operation or revenue from sales of the products, okay, sales of the Dabur products has increased for the 2022 year. Okay, and also there is other income. So there are other income for the company, and to know what income the Javaris has, you can refer to the notes. So here there is a notes tab column, right? So under notes they will be giving the numbers. So if you go down below to this document and you can under notes, you can see the at 39 point 33 point, you can get the details about other income. Okay, so combining both revenues from operation and other income, total income is this much, 8,521. And comparing with the last year, it is 7,416. So what we can understand that from the income or revenue point of view, the Dabur has increased its revenue compared to the last year. So that is total revenue is that means total revenue has increased from the last year. So that means if at higher level, I can tell that this is 7,400 and this is 8,500. Roughly, I can tell that increase is almost closer to 15%. Okay, 15 total 12 to 15% of increase in revenue for the Dabur company in 2022. Now let us go to the expenses. Okay, so expenses are listed below to the income. So these are all the expenses that company has: the cost of materials consumed, purchase of stock in trade, changes in inventory, employee benefits, financial cost, depreciation and amortization, and other expenses for advertising and publicity. So these are all the costs that company is paying to run the business and to generate the revenue. Okay, so cost of materials is nothing but, for example, if the Dabur is producing honey, so to produce honey, they have to go to the farmers or the forest and they have to pay there and they get the honey from there. Then only with that honey, they will refine it and they will purify it in their business and they will pack it and sell it. So this is completely, there will be cost involved there, right? To do all the process, there will be a cost involved and complete cost of materials. Okay. So like that, what all expenditure they have to generate this revenue, they will list here. So like that, there are multiple items here: financial costs, depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization expenses. So at higher level, what I can tell about this is depreciation and amortization expenses means, for example, this Dabur company has some plant. Okay, they will be having some machinery. Okay, to refine the honey or to do something, they will be having some machineries, right? So uh, every missionary will have, sometimes they will go, there will be problem there, or sometimes some parts will be damaging, something will be happening sometimes, because any machine will not be working continuously in a good condition, right? Sometimes it has its own date of expiry, so there will be some damage to the machinery, or sometimes we may have to replace the parts in that. So that kind of expenses will be denoted under depreciation and amortization. So like that, there will be an advertising and publicity cost also. So including everything, all the expenses are listed here at higher level, and total expenses is coming up to 6,624 for 2022 year, and it is 5,778 for 21 year. So again, expenses is also increased. Okay. So we are seeing that revenue is also increasing, at the same time expenses is also increasing for the company in 2022. So now let us go to the final point, that is what is the net profit for the year. Okay, so net profit is the ultimate point, right? If what is the growth here, then only we can tell that company is giving the good profit or not. So net profit is nothing but total income minus total expenses and tax also. There is a tax, right? So here you can see profit before tax. So profit before tax is nothing but revenue minus expenses. So that is 1896. The total profit before tax means total income minus total expenses. That's it. So which is coming up to 1,896. And out of this profit before tax, we have to pay the tax, right? Company has to pay tax. So if they subtract the tax also, the total tax is 463, and if they subtract from that, the net profit remaining to the company is 1,432 crores. And if I compare to the previous year, that is around 1,381. So there is an improvement or the growth or positive increase or increase in the net profit for the 2022. Okay, like that, we can get the income information, expenses information, and also the complete profit, net profit for the year in this financial statement. Now, if I go to here, at the bottom, you can see earnings per share. Okay. So what is this earnings per share means? We are getting net profit for the year information, right? Here, that is 1,432 crores. So now, per share. So assume if Dabur has around, if for example, if Dabur has around 1 lakh shares, okay, public shares, roughly. It's an example only. It may be having some crores of shares also. Assume it has 1 lakh publicly traded shares. Now what happens? They will divide with a complete 1432 will be divided to each share. Okay, for example, net profit is 1432 profit divided to complete outstanding shares. That means that will give you the earnings per share. Okay, that will give you the earnings per share. So why we need this is, so what happens, what is the use of this earnings per share means, out of one share, I mean for one shareholder, what can be the profit to him? Okay, if I have one share of Dabur with me, okay, assume, what can the profit will I get from the 1 year performance? So with that is what we can analyze from the earnings per share. So if you have one share of a company, and you can understand how much profit you can get for that particular share from the earnings per share value. Here there are two types, like basic earnings per share and diluted earnings per share. So basic earnings per share is for all the shares, like for all the outstanding shares. Okay, 8.11, right? What about diluted means? Some of the shares of the company will be dilutable. Okay, dilutable in the sense they can be converted to dilutable. Okay, they can be converted to common shares because all the outstanding shares are common shares only. So dilutable shares are not common shares, but they can be converted to common shares. Okay, so now assume, okay, out of this 1 lakh outstanding shares for Dabur company, okay, there can be, assume if there is 100 dilutable shares. So what happens? If they convert, if the shareholders, diluted shareholders converts this shares to common shares, what will happen is it will increase the outstanding. Okay, so what happens? It will increase the outstanding to 1 lakh 100. Because of this increase in outstanding shares, the value will come down. Okay, so that's the reason diluted value will be somewhat lesser compared to basic. Okay, so that is the 1 minute. I'm getting some. So this is what the information we get from the profit and loss statement. Okay, so I hope you understood it. So kindly let me know if you have any doubts or if you need any more explanation or any more detailed explanation on any of the information that is given here. Kindly let me know in the comments. I will definitely clarify you in the next videos. Okay, so this is what the profit and loss statement information. So to summarize again, so profit and loss statement is just simply a statement from the publicly traded company which gives us the information about income, expenses, and profit, net profit out of that. So with this, this information is required for the shareholders because they can understand the ability of the company or how much profits the company is generating for the duration of 1 year or 3 months. So that is what an investor can analyze from this statement. Okay, so I hope this basic analysis will help you, uh, and you can read. I hope with this explanation you can at least go to any of the statement, any of the company statement, and you can just go through what information they have provided, and you can analyze from your end at the higher level. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.